Hey, it's Rachel with JV Zoo. I'm here with Luke McGuire. Everybody knows him as super successful with launches such as Inboxer and OctaSuite, and he's in the middle of StoryMate launch. Luke, thanks for joining me.
No worries at all. Thank you for having me. I always love coming and speaking to you and the JV Zoo team, and it's a pleasure to be here as always. I got my JV Zoo shirt on.
Woo woo.
Got my little JV Zoo bobblehead here, guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to have such a cool business model and everything. So appreciate being here.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit about StoryMate. What can we expect from it? Just real quick.
Essentially, I created, all the tools I create are usually, or 99% of the time, are first to market tools where I'm doing something manually all the time and I hate doing it manually. So I try to automate it. For example, a few years ago, my ex-girlfriend, she would wake up every morning at 4 a.m. to post to Instagram at prime time, and it would wreck my sleep. I said there has to be a way to automate this, and there wasn't. So I created an automation solution for that, which essentially allowed me to sleep in more, but it became one of the biggest JV Zoo launches ever. Now, StoryMate is essentially almost like a follow-up to Instamate. We focus here on Facebook and Instagram stories, which are engaged with 15 times more than any other form of update. Click-through rates on Instagram and Facebook stories are 15 to 25%. So for every 100 people you send to a story, 15 to 25 of those people will click through. So the stats are unreal. But what I found the problem here was to actually create highly converting stories that have animations, stories that have call to actions like swipe up here that are specific to Facebook and Instagram. So I created a tool that allows you to come in, select a template, upload your own imagery, upload your own text that'll fly in, fly around, and also then post and sync to Facebook and Instagram stories. And that's where it's at right now in the online marketing world. It's about catching trends. Facebook and Instagram are really pushing their story platform. If you look on Facebook, it's at the top right-hand corner where the ads used to be. So they've removed their ads and put stories there now. On Instagram, it's at the very top of the Instagram feed. They're essentially trying to destroy Snapchat and Snapchat. Facebook tried to buy Snapchat a few years ago. They said no. So Facebook said, we're going to do it ourselves. And what StoryMate really allows you to do is convert actual fans into customers through stories, through our template. So that's essentially what StoryMate does. We just launched yesterday, guys. So if you're watching this now, it is launch week. It's a one-time investment if you guys want to jump in. There's refund guarantees. I do a double your money back guarantee. There's a lot of stuff happening there. But I want to talk about Zoo today. But if you want to check it out, it's just storymate.com.
Awesome. Well, what goes into making your launches on JV Zoo successful? Like especially in today's climate and internet marketing world, it's kind of an uproar. So what are you doing to keep your launch safe, to keep everything going and flowing, and to make it successful?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously there's been a bit of an uproar in the internet marketing industry recently, and I've seen a lot of information flying around. And, you know, I've always been one in all my launches, I need to know every single part of my business, and I need to learn it myself. Or if I'm going to learn something, it has to be from the source that I'm trying to learn from. So in this launch, I write all my launches, I write all my own copy. I write all my own sales pages. I get them designed. I split test things. I have a great team around me of developers. So one thing I always do in all my software is ensure they are compliant with whatever platform I'm working with, whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram, whether it be PayPal, whether it be any payment processor that I'm including. I ensure that they are compliant with these platforms, because at the end of the day, if they're not, these different platforms can shut you down and whatnot. And that's the risk you do if you don't go along with their terms and conditions. Now, what I wanted to do on this specific launch here with StoryMate was really show everyone that you don't need to have these giant money proof claims. You don't need to have a lot of this. A lot of people I see sometimes use fake proof on internet marketing in general, right? And I've seen recently, it seems that some PayPal accounts have been getting frozen, not shut down, but frozen until they can claim their income proofs right. And what I decided to do in this launch was really show people that you don't need to have giant lots of money proof. What really sells, and what I think sells in today's marketplace, is really pushing the benefits of what your software, what your training, what your offer does. So not the features, what the benefits are that it provides. So for StoryMate, for example, it's going to enable you to get more traffic to your website of converting customers through engaging stories. That's a benefit. That's the benefit that's going to do. It's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. It's going to save you energy. It automates the process. That's a benefit. Now, when it comes to provide, people obviously want to see results, but what I like to do in my sales pages now and in my emails and everything I do, I want to put the person in the position that I know what my software can provide for them. So what I mean by that is, if they have a local agency, I'll say on my sales page, imagine what it would be like if you can create highly converting stories in seconds that you can sell right away to local businesses in your area. They can then pitch themselves doing that. I'll actually say that. Imagine this for a minute. I'll say it on the video. Make them think about it. If you tell someone to do something, they're most likely going to think about doing it. And when they start thinking, oh, I can create a story in a couple of seconds here, and I can go and sell it to that business right away. This offer lets me sell it for whatever I want. It takes me 2 seconds to do. I can make money doing that. They then can see how they can make money for themselves. For example, if they have an e-commerce site, or they've got a Facebook page that's selling e-commerce products. Well, I would say, think about this. You can create a story today on your new, your Christmas promotion coming out, your Christmas t-shirts. And you can use our StoryMate templates here to design highly converting stories with call to actions in them that will send your fans across over to your sales page to convert the traffic there. So it's about connecting the dots and showing the benefit that your tool or product or training provides, and make them think and live it. So I think that's a big thing I've seen in the industry now. I hate seeing giant money screenshots and giant claims that they can't back up and stuff like that. So I think PayPal's cracked down a bit on that, but you don't have to do that. And in fact, I think it's better, rather than showing someone else's results, show people how they can teach people how they can really see how they can get results with it. Because no one cares what anyone else can do for them. All they care about is what they can do for themselves. And that might sound sad, it might sound bad, but that's the world we live in. We all think about ourselves when we are making a buying decision. And if we can legitimize that to ourselves, is that a word? I think so, legitimize? It is now, if it's not already. You can, it turns them from a cold lead into a warm lead, right? That is what I really try to push through on my designs and on my sales pages in my content. One other quick thing I want to mention I do here as well is I'm really pushing my design flow on sales pages now. I've actually put a template on my Facebook. I might send it to you. You can put it maybe with this link somewhere, of how I write my sales pages and tell a story from a headline that spikes interest to them coming down to watching the video, to them mentioning what the problem is, or what the problem is in the market and what your actual solution does. Then I mention the benefits of the solution. Then I go into some of the features, go into the bonuses, refund guarantee, so on and so forth. And with my design, I make sure it flows. I make sure it's breathable. I make sure people are taken on a journey, and it basically like a storytelling book. But instead of turning pages, you're being taken down. So with the elements of the text in the right order, the designs to ensure that the elements flow and the graphics are flowing really, really nice. So have a look at storymate.com. You'll see what I mean in a perfect example there. And putting those two things together, putting a refund guarantee very, very visible on your page as well. Sometimes people are afraid to put refund guarantees because they think they're going to get refunds. Now, everyone's going to get refunds. Not every tool's going to be for everyone, but putting it on your sales page and making it very visible, one, builds legitimacy for you. A buying decision, if you see that it's there, the buyers are going to be 10 times more likely to invest. It takes away the risk from them. PayPal loves it. And in fact, I've never lost a PayPal case that has been out. If someone asked for a chargeback outside of a refund period, because I've got that refund guarantee there, I simply upload that, and I never lose. I've never lost a case once from that. So there's some of the key things I do there as well. Now, I guess we'll talk about PayPal in a minute and what I've been doing there. But if you have any other questions first, go for it.
No, definitely. Let's hear what you have to say about PayPal, because that's the hot button issue right now. What do you think about the whole PayPal issue? Any steps that you're taking that might be helpful to other people in our industry right now?
Yeah, for sure. So I've seen the outrage of a lot of people, and people just posting things that their accounts are being shut down, and it sucks. but there has to be a reason behind why this is happening. And, you know, I've seen giant threads all over the place, and I've reached out to a few people that have had these account shutdown issues. I've been speaking with them, and I've been really making and crafting the StoryMate launch to take it into account not only people's experiences, but I've gone above and beyond to ensure my product is not going to get shut down, guys. So one thing I've done, obviously, is if you don't have a PayPal manager for your launch, request a PayPal manager. Call up, say you've got a launch coming out, and let them know in advance, and ask for a PayPal manager that you can work with one-on-one. You get their mobile number, you get a special email, and that is one of the biggest things I found to ensure you can make sure your account is safe. Now, I've had a PayPal manager for a few years, and then he got fired last year, and then I requested a new one, which I did get quite quickly, and he has just been absolutely amazing. But I guess because I do such large volumes, especially here in Australia, my PayPal account actually has privileges that a lot of other accounts don't have. For example, whether my PayPal account is the first account in Australia to have access to their new marketplace solution. And it's quite a little funny story. I'll say it really quickly because I think it's entertaining, that I'm building this other software that uses this marketplace solution. I've been wanting it for years, but they only started releasing it, I think, to the world maybe about 6 months ago to specific people, and me probably about 3 months ago now. This was dragging on and on because they said it was going to come out for years and it didn't. And this one guy I got in contact with finally, he was flown over from the offices in Europe, lives here now in Australia, and he works on a very high level issues and departments inside of PayPal. And I was working back and forth with him. It was taking a while. And then one of my friends came to the airport. He goes, "Can you pick me up from the airport, me and my mate?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Picked him and his mate up, and we're in the car. And he's like, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, mate, I'm just dealing with this PayPal stuff right now. It's frustrating the hell out of me." He's like, "Oh, what are you working on?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a thing called InstaFamous. It's just taking forever. This guy's taking forever." And he goes, "Oh, wow, I have to let you know that's actually me you've been speaking to." So this head guy from PayPal in Europe is randomly in my car just after I've been kind of bitching about it, right? And he says, "Because you picked me up, now I'm really going to have to go above and beyond for you." So the point of saying that, though, is I then reached out to him about some of these closures, some of these things that have been happening here, and he had a look over at my account, and he spoke to the compliance team, because a lot of PayPal managers can't contact the compliance team directly. They kind of live in their own little bubble somewhere, and they can contact people at PayPal, but PayPal can't contact that department in a lot of cases. So I said to him, "Can you please find out?" And then he got the compliance team to look over my account. I have a reserve on it. So I've had a reserve for a couple of years, which means it's money held in there from PayPal, which if you haven't got one yet and you plan on doing a big launch, it's often better to even request to have some form of rolling reserve or a permanent reserve there, that when you stop processing, you can finally take the money out. Now, mine actually happened to me a couple of years ago when I did a launch called Viral Autobots. And I think we got about around $300,000 in sales, and then my PayPal account was frozen. And I had to jump over to Stripe. This is middle of launch. So luckily we caught it quick, got Stripe up, but it wasn't ideal. So if you're getting started and you haven't got a reserve, ask for one. And because I didn't ask for one, because they saw all this money coming in right away, they actually froze $50,000 US of mine. And this was my second launch I'd ever done, by the way. But because I saw such a big increase quickly, they thought that amount of money was going to come in all year out, not just in launch week, right? But they froze that, and the only way to get it up then was a 50 grand hold and a 30% rolling reserve. Now, after speaking to my friend Christian the other week, he got that taken down to $30,000 reserve and 15% rolling reserve, which means for 30 days, 15% of every sale gets held. And that's just to cover them in terms of refunds and stuff like that. Now, majority of you won't need a reserve that big, but if you ask for a PayPal manager and you ask to have a small reserve put on your account because you want to work with them long term, you want to be partners with them, and this is what you say to PayPal. And I expect to do a lot of sales here, and I would like to be I would like to ensure that PayPal knows I'm a really trustworthy vendor to work here for the long term. So that's something to do there as well. Next thing you should be really looking at is your sales pages. Again, if you're doing a launch in future, have a look over at mine. They're converting like crazy. I think we did like over $30,000 in like 3 or 4 hours last night. I'm not sure where it's up to now. It's probably above 60 now. And it's only been not even 12 hours. I don't think 12 hours. Pretty crazy stuff, right? And this just proves you can do things the right way and still make a heck of a lot of money. What I also did as well is I've sent my my sales pages across to my PayPal manager. I also requested a secondary PayPal manager in America. And not everyone's going to have to do this, but I did, and I asked for a separate one in America because I earn USD. I got a PayPal manager in America now that actually has direct contact with the compliance team as well. So I sent through my sales pages to him. I sent through what I'm promoting, my JV pages. I sent through everything across for them to do have a look over it, right? To make sure that it was completely compliant, because everyone's thinking everything's going to get shut down if you're using PayPal and stuff right now. And I can just say it's just not the case if you're doing things right. And at least in my experience anyway here, because again, PayPal want you to make money because they make money also. It's a win-win. It doesn't make sense for them to shut down things for no reason, right? So it's just about doing your due diligence. I know it can be exciting if you're just getting started, or putting a giant claim on there that might be a bit gray line area, you know, and it might convert that a little bit more. But for the longevity here, you want to be working with customers that understand what it is you're offering. You don't want to mislead them in any way, shape, or form. Not saying that anyone here will, but sometimes headlines, and especially headlines, they can be very misguiding to what actually the software or the tool or the training provides. So just be very transparent, provide value, share your benefits, ensure PayPal knows about your launch. If you don't have a reserve, ask for one. If you have a manager, if you don't have a manager, ask for one. Make sure you have one, in fact. I know JVs are happy to look at, they have a compliance team with PayPal now as well, where they're happy to look at your sales pages as well. We did that as well there. Now, and then just make sure, this is one thing I'll say, don't just say you're doing a launch where you're going to make a bunch, there's going to be a big increase. Tell them a rough amount of what you think you're going to earn. Because I've seen it happen to people where they say, okay, I'm going to earn $400,000 in this launch, roughly. Say it goes to $800,000. Well, that goes way above the notes on the actual key on their PayPal document. And then you might run into a frozen option there. Oh, your account might get frozen there. So mine's very broad. I said for this launch, $300,000 to $1 million. So I'm pretty well covered. Essentially, they just need to know that you've contacted them, you've put the notes down, you've sent through your sales pages, you've done your due diligence. If you look at your sales page and you see anything, or even JV page or anything, and you think, this might be a little bit sneaky, don't even risk it. Don't even do it. Don't put something in text that's this small. For example, for StoryMate, the front end product here, we've got 50 renders a month for the front end offer, which means they can render 50 Instagram stories and Facebook stories every single month. There's an upsell for unlimited, but obviously it's not pretty saying you only get 50 a month, right? But I'm not going to hide that because that's what they get. And we have to cover costs and server expenses and whatnot. And there's ways to make things that you might not think are sexy or will sell to really, to actually make them sound sexy and make them convert. So for example, for this, I say, you get a huge 50 renders a month that will allow you to create however many stories a day. And you can break it down and make it really, really appealing to the user. So there's some little key things I've done for this launch. I've really gone all in on this launch as well. Like there's some big prizes, big traffic coming through. I know people are scared in the market right now to promote and whatnot because they've seen all this stuff. But let's just take, for example, here, this is something live right now. We've gone through the biggest day almost already. There's been no issues whatsoever. I've been on the phone to PayPal. I've been on the phone to my partners. I've been speaking to you guys at JV Zoo. We've been split testing a bunch of pages, different headlines, everything like that. And there has been no issues whatsoever. So I personally, if you're doing things the right way, have a look at my product, have a look how we've done it. If you have questions, ask me. I'm happy to share my knowledge with you guys as well. And you should be just absolutely fine. And I'm so thankful for everyone that's jumped into StoryMate. If you haven't jumped in, make sure you go to storymate.com/JV. There's swipes and everything there, and you'll see you'll be just fine and be a part of something that's really cool. And even one last thing I wanted to mention is I spoke to my American affiliate manager, and I said to him, is there anything wrong that with any of these affiliate networks? Because people are saying it's the affiliate networks that are getting these accounts shut down. That the 5 or 10 that I've seen that have been shut down. People have been saying that. They said, no, not at all. It's on a case-by-case basis. It has nothing to do with the payment gateway, essentially, or the affiliate network. It's something to do with the product itself. But yeah, so if you follow the rules, you're going to be absolutely fine. If you guys really think about it, if it had to do with any affiliate network, not just JVZoo, if they had a problem with it, they would just cut the head off the snake and get rid of that affiliate network from working with that platform. However, like Laura, I've spoken to Laura, and like the whole JVZoo team said, they've got a team there that want to work with us vendors, not work with us. They want to work with us. So jump in, take advantage of that as well. And again, the proof is in the pudding here in this one, and we're absolutely fine here with StoryMate. So don't be afraid for anything, guys, because this is a perfect example of how we can really start 2019 really strong, make a lot of money for each other, and most importantly, ensure our customers are looked after.
Awesome. So many bits of great advice in there for people, and hopefully people go back and watch this again and take notes on it, because there's so much great information in there. But we wish you so much more success with StoryMate as it goes along in the launch week, and we just appreciate you so much at JVZoo.
Thank you, appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys in StoryMate. And inbox me if you do have any questions, because again, I'm very approachable. For some reason, Simon Harris, my JV manager, gets a lot of people messaging him to then ask if they can talk to me. But just hit me up. I'm very approachable. I'm just an Australian guy with a beard that my girlfriend said I couldn't grow. So that's why I've grown the beard, by the way, because she said I couldn't do it. So I've showed her wrong. I'm going to grow it really big and gross until she just goes, okay, you win, Luke. So hit me up, guys. I'm here to talk to you all.
That is awesome. Thanks so much, Luke. Take care.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.